Hi everyone, my name is Federico Quintero and welcome to my docu-series where I interview entrepreneurs around me and learn about what they do, how they got to where they are today, and life lessons that they learned along the way. And I hope you learned as much as I did while interviewing these entrepreneurs, and I hope you enjoy. Hi, Rino. Welcome to my interview. So first of all, can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
So we do, we're a small business, and we do work for a phone company. So whenever they have a project in a certain city, we find out the location, scope out the location,
Okay.
draw it up, prepare the permits, and submit it to the city for their review and approval.
Oh. And how and why did you get into this current field of work?
A little bit of good luck. I worked at AT&T as a contractor for several years, and there was a step in the permitting process
Okay.
that nobody wanted to do at the time. And basically, one of the higher ups in AT&T went to me and said, "Hey, we got this. Do you wanna do it for us?" And that's basically my way into this business.
Oh, okay. And to get into this current field of work, did you have to study or?
Not well. I studied, right, but not for this type of work.
Okay.
Because it's quite niche, and basically I studied for finance in my college education, and I guess the overall thing that I believe, every step of the educational process is beneficial. From junior high to high school to college to university or master's program, is the ability to learn. So not the math, not the English, but in every class you take, you learn how to learn. And that's what I got out of my education.
So you work with phones, is that correct?
So telecommunications.
Okay.
So right now we do the fiber design and permitting. So in telecommunications, there's the wireline and wireless. We're getting most of our business in the wireline side.
Okay.
And we're starting to get into the wireless side, and that would be like 5G.
Oh, okay. And would you consider this your dream job or dream career?
I enjoy it. So I it's not something I dreamt of when I was younger, because you kind of take the telecommunications for granted, right? It's always there. You pick up the phone, it rings, right?
Oh.
You can dial and it rings somewhere. So I never thought about this specific career path, but I definitely enjoy it.
In your life, did you have any influences or role models?
Yes. So I've had two mentors. One mentor who was in manufacturing, and he taught me about efficiency and scale, while the other mentor was more of a small business mentor who taught me to navigate business and to make it work.
What is a typical work day like for you?
Well, a lot of phone calls, coordinating between different departments, and also I set time every day for new business. So look at new customers to follow up with, or some projects that the state advertises, or some cities advertise, something that's similar to what we do, that we can take on as a bonus project.
And would you say that you are successful?
I think success is once you are active in your business, you always raise the bar, right? So I would say I'm on my way to successful career or successful business, but then again, maybe I can only say that when I retire.
Okay. To you, what are some important qualities of being a self-owned or self-employed business?
Well, I call it like, you have to identify opportunity, and once you see that opportunity, you have to make a decision on whether to take it or not. And once you make the decision, you got to stick with it, because sometimes it's just a matter of time. Or sometimes if you've had your fill, right, and you don't see it being the correct decision, then you have to make another decision to back out of it. Whether it's a successful endeavor or it's a failure, you still get experience out of it, and you learn from that experience, and hopefully make a better decision the next time it comes around.
What are some of your favorite parts of being or doing what you do?
Well, decision making,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're if you're an employee in a certain job description, let's say you're an accountant, you make all your decisions in that certain scope. When you're a small business owner, you're making marketing decisions, you're making financial decisions, you're trying to bring in new business, and basically the decisions that I make is across the board, and I think that is interesting, and it's never been a boring day. Let's just say that.
And I assume to get to this point, it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. Several times we've almost lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I taught myself to make better decisions. To keep trying, and don't just try to grow the business once it's slowed down. You got to keep trying to grow it even when it's going good.
So a few years ago, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and you were impacted by the pandemic.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the bank that I was associated with, they wanted to set up to do the PPP,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed the boat on it. So, but we stuck it out just with with the cash and savings that we had, and we were able to pay everybody. We didn't fire anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a small business, we always paid employees first and then pay ourselves last.
Oh. And to get to this point, if there's anything you could have done differently, what would it be?
Well, I think I mentioned it a little bit ago, but basically, don't try to improve the business once it's slow, right? Or once you see it not functioning the way it should. Always try to grow the business even during the good times, and that way you're also in a position of strength, and you're able to make better decisions.
So how do you handle stress or anxiety?
So it depends, like when in my career, but now I like to take vacations. I like to travel and eat good food, and for me, traveling to find a good restaurant is worth the trip. So, and of course, it's not the quantity of food; it's the quality and taste. And I think that's just because of my, the older you get, the less you can eat. All right, you eat a little bit too much, and you gain weight right away.
Yeah.
So I'd rather taste the quality than the quantity.
And when you feel stress or anxiety, you feel, I would assume you feel motivated to keep working. What motivates you?
Well, because we've almost lost the business twice. Just that instinct to survive always kicks in. And I think that's part of human nature, where you want to survive.
How do you take care of your mental health while working?
I don't know. I think I've been doing okay. So I think I tell myself it's the journey and not the destination. So if I'm having a tough day or a tough week, then I tell myself that, this is part of the fun.
How do you find a balance between life and work, like your personal life?
Well, actually, I treat work as a lifestyle, and I make time for my family, by going out on the weekends and such.
Yeah.
And we do trips. But during the weekday, for the most part, it's work first and maybe pick up the kids from school.
What does self-growth mean to you?
Getting out of your comfort zone. For instance, I just came back from a convention in Hawaii, and at that convention, I learned about data centers and how data centers have their own fiber infrastructure. And before I attended this convention, I was under the impression that telecommunications was just wireline and wireless. While this convention, there was a big presence of data centers. And because of the similarity of fiber infrastructure, I recognized that this is an opportunity for me to grow my business. And basically, there wasn't a very large presence of the wireline and wireless companies at this convention. So I didn't really think it as something I needed to go to, but I made the effort, and the fruits of that effort is an expansion to my customer base.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that you have grown as a person?
Yeah, I would say I think everybody grows. Even if it was small business oriented, or as a professional, or just as an athlete or whatnot. I would say that I mature. I recognize my maturity in 5-year chunks, where if I looked at myself when I was 26, looking back at 21, I would notice a difference. But if I looked at my maturity, let's say from 26 to 25, I would not notice a difference. So my advice there for young adults is look at life in 5-year chunks, and look back, or also look forward in 5-year chunks. And if you happen to make progress in 3 years, that means you're ahead of schedule. If you're making progress every 5 years, then I would say you're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. How do you envision the future of your business?
Let's say LA downtown. And something with 6G and the localized presence is called edge data centers. We want to be a part of the edge data centers, which is basically small data centers close to the 6G network, where people experience almost instant data traffic between where they're located and where the data is present.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, what would you say to the 13-year-old you?
Just try.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have time on your side. In my life, I think there was times where I didn't try and I just stayed stagnant. And sometimes I tried and I succeeded. Sometimes I tried and I failed. But at every instance where I tried, I gained experience. Sometimes more experience from a failure than a success. And if you don't go out there and try, you'll never gain that experience.
Mm-hmm. And finally, what would you say to the 13-year-olds watching at home?
I would say that 13-year-olds, if you can learn about demographics, it's gonna help you realize what opportunities are going to be in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rino, thank you for being a part of my project. Thank you so much for watching my interview. And if you enjoyed what you watched, make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Bye and see you next time.